All right, welcome in everyone. It's time for another deep dive.
That's right, a deep dive into a topic that I think we all grapple with at some point or another.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Love.
Yeah, love,
Yes,
big topic.
big one.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see, what kind of insights we can glean from this uh, source that was provided.
Amor Sempre, right, by Adenauer Neves.
Yeah, that's it. Amor Sempre, and just for context, this is a second edition. Looks like it was printed in Brazil.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and copyright 1997, but publication 2002, so a little bit of time in between there.
Okay, so it's been around for a bit.
Yeah, and the proceeds actually go to a good cause, Fundação La Harmonia.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
A love always for a good cause. That's kind of cool.
yeah. So I think our mission today is to really try to pull out what the core understanding of love is, according to this book. You
Yeah.
know, how many different forms does it take? What is it? What's its significance in terms of your own personal and maybe even spiritual growth?
And how can we benefit from understanding these different forms of love better?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what we want to do is distill this down into something that's both insightful, but also, that you walk away being like, oh, I can actually use this in my life somehow.
I feel like that's the goal with all these deep dives, right? It's not just about knowledge, it's about application.
Yeah.
So with this theme of love always, where does the book even begin to define something so vast?
Yeah, so they start with the foundation, like the very bedrock. And it's this idea that love is the fundamental driving force of life itself.
Wow. So like even before anything else, there was love.
Yeah, it says, wherever a being goes, love has preceded it.
Interesting.
And they refer to this as excelso amor.
Excelso amor. Okay, I'm assuming that means something like supreme love or something like that.
Yeah, like supreme love. Yeah, and it even goes so far as to say God is love.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't shy away from the big picture.
So it's really making a strong statement right from the start.
Right out the gate. Yeah, and it doesn't just stop there. It goes on to explain how this love, nourishes everything, maintains this universal balance, and extends infinitely. So it's not just like this, concept out there. It's very active. It's very much a part of, the fabric of everything.
It sounds like they're portraying love as this almost energy that underpins all of existence.
Yeah, like a pervasive energy that we're all kind of like swimming in, but maybe not fully aware of.
Yeah, I can see that.
And they give this really vivid example or analogy, I guess you could say, using the natural world.
Oh, that's cool. I always find that nature metaphors help me grasp big concepts. What do they say?
Yeah, well, they talk about like the rustling of leaves and the sounds of nature that we hear all around us, the songs of streams, blossoming flowers, the chirping of birds, the sounds that animals make.
Wow, they really run the gamut.
Yeah, and it's all described as this constant hymn of praise,
Yeah.
a manifestation of this inherent love that exists in the universe. It paints this picture of a world that is just saturated with love.
It's like we're surrounded by evidence of it, but we're just not tuned in.
Right, and that's where the book kind of hits on, I think, a really, important point that I think resonates with a lot of people. It's this idea that our human emotional fragility often prevents us from actually fully experiencing this deep love that's underlying everything.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. We get so caught up in our own heads, our own dramas, that we miss the bigger picture.
Totally, and that's where this sense of feeling lost comes in, or lacking a sense of inner peace.
So are they suggesting there's a solution to this? Like, how do we bridge that gap between the love that's all around us and our ability to actually feel and connect with it?
Yeah, and that's where they introduce this thing that they call a trilogy of love.
Okay, a trilogy of love. So 3 parts. What are they?
Yeah, so there's love for God, love for life, and love for oneself.
Love for God, love for life, and love for oneself.
And they attribute this, the synthesis, they call it, to Jesus and
Right.
say that it's really the reason for our existence, the core of it.
Interesting. So they're saying these 3 types of love are intertwined, not separate.
Exactly. It's not like you can just pick and choose which one you want, They're all part of this interconnected whole.
But how does that work exactly? How do those 3 link up? I mean, you could argue that you can love yourself and love life without any belief in God, right?
Yeah, and the book kind of addresses that. It implies that to truly love God, you have to appreciate and love the life that God has created.
Okay, I see that connection.
And crucially, you can't really fully embrace either of those without having a strong foundation of self-love.
So self-love is like the base upon which the other 2 can flourish.
Yeah, it's like the root system.
And from there, the book goes on to explore all these different facets of love.
Yeah, it gets really into the weeds.
Like what kind of stuff?
Well, you look at the index, and it's like this map to all these different landscapes of love.
That's cool. So what are some of the stops on this love map?
Well, we're talking about spiritual love, obviously, the love within families. Love as a means of communication.
So like love as a
Love
language?
as a language,
Mm.
yeah. And this idea of enduring love, they have this term, mor deus,
Mm-hmm.
which is like love without farewell, hinting at, this love that transcends even death. And also the notion of seemingly impossible love.
Whoa, okay. So it gets into those really complex, messy areas of love too.
Doesn't shy away from the hard stuff.
I'm intrigued. And what else? What other aspects of love does it dive into?
What talks about amor amigo, the love of friendship.
Amor, amigo. Okay.
Yeah, and its connection to things like karma and neediness.
Oh, interesting. So how do those concepts tie into love and friendship?
Well, they're saying our acts of love or, lack thereof create these karmic consequences, and that genuine friendship that's free from neediness, that's actually, a positive influence on our karmic path.
So the way we love or don't love has ripple effects.
Totally.
I like that. And what about other areas of life? Does it touch on those too?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It talks about love as a therapeutic force, its role in achieving inner peace, and how it connects to finding meaning in our work.
Okay, so it's not just about romantic love or family love. It's really looking at love as this force that permeates every part of our lives.
Exactly. And it even delves into the complexities of love when faced with betrayal and its relationship to things like sex, passion, spirituality in a broader sense, education, forgiveness, religion, art, health, even charity.
Wow, they really cover a lot of ground.
It's pretty comprehensive. And it all kind of comes back to this central idea of amor sempre, love always.
I see. It's like the thread that connects all these different aspects of love.
Exactly. And to really uh, I guess you could say solidify this understanding of love, they include a really famous passage from Paulo in 1 Corinthians the 30.
Oh, okay, the love chapter. I'm familiar with that one.
Yeah, so they take verses 1 through 7, and it just offers this really powerful description of what the qualities of love are.
And what are some of those key qualities they highlight?
So it says love is patient. It's going to give the fundamentals.
Yeah.
And then it says it doesn't envy. It doesn't boast. It's not proud. It's not rude or self-seeking. It's not easily angered. And it keeps no record of wrongs.
That's a tall order.
Yeah, right. And instead it says it rejoices with the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things.
It's almost like a checklist for authentic love.
Right. It really sets a high bar.
It definitely does. So by including this passage, what do you think the book is trying to achieve?
I think it's giving us this benchmark to measure our own understanding of love against.
Okay, so it's not just a feeling, it's also about how we act and how we choose to be in the world.
Totally. Yeah, it's about embodying those qualities.
I see. So as we start to wrap up our deep dive into Amor Sempre, what would you say are some of the biggest takeaways about how this book views love?
Well, it's definitely clear that it presents love as this incredibly deep and multifaceted force.
Hmm.
It's not just this fleeting emotion, but it's like this bedrock of everything.
Right, it's foundational to existence itself.
And it's essential for our own personal development, but maybe also our spiritual development as well.
Yeah, and we talked about how it really emphasizes self-love as this key ingredient for psychological well-being, and it distinguishes between spiritual love and these more superficial connections that are based on material things.
Yeah, and how the family is this primary space where we learn about love and experience it in all its, messy glory.
Right, it's like our first training ground for love.
Totally. And also how it portrays love as this universal language that connects us all, regardless of our differences.
Yeah, I really like that point about love as a language. It transcends words.
Right. And then this idea of amor sem deus, love without farewell, even in the face of death. It makes you think about the enduring nature of love beyond just our physical existence.
It suggests that love has a power that goes beyond the limitations of our physical lives.
Yeah, and the book's exploration of impossible love, I think it's really insightful for learning how to set healthy boundaries and understand our own self-worth.
That's so important. And it also highlighted Amor Amigo, the love of friendship, reminding us that platonic connections are just as vital as romantic ones.
Yeah, and to understand love as something that's bigger than just, our own needs and desires.
Love as a force for good, not just personal gratification.
Exactly. And it presents it as this tool for healing, and growth, this thing that's intimately linked to finding inner peace and purpose in our work.
I like how it shows that love isn't isolated. It's interconnected with so many other parts of our lives.
Yeah, it touches on intelligence, creativity, as expressed through art, physical health, charity, education, the whole spectrum.
Wow, so love is woven into the very fabric of who we are and how we experience the world.
It really seems that way.
Yeah.
So as you go forward, thinking about the ideas in Amor Sempre, I think it's worth considering this question that the book kind of poses throughout. What if love isn't just something that we experience, but it's actually the very essence of our spirit, the most fundamental part of who we are?
That's deep. So instead of seeking love, we should be recognizing ourselves as love.
Yeah, and the book seems to suggest that coming to know ourselves as beings of love, that's like the ultimate aim of this whole journey of life.
It's a profound shift in perspective to see ourselves not as lacking love, but as embodiments of it.
Exactly. And to build on that, the book also has this perspective that true love, it doesn't demand reciprocation.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's not transactional.
No, it's about fostering this sense of freedom and genuine happiness, not just for ourselves, but for everyone around us.
That's a powerful message. Love is a liberating force.
Yeah, and it encourages us to have this really expansive and selfless understanding of what it means to love always.
Amor, sempre.
Amor sempre.
All right. So much to think about.
Lot to chew on. Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to check out this book myself.
Yeah, me too.
Really fascinating.
Thanks for joining us.
Until next time.
See ya.
Bye.